Hello, niece and nephew. Today, sorry, wrong show. Yes, yeah, Neiman. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to see more from ChanandTan, please hit subscribe and press the bell icon. 大家好 Uncle Chan here. 欢迎你们回来. Today we're going to be making a creamy fish pie topped off with lovely fluffy potatoes. So today's ingredients, we've got our potato, which is going to be our topping. We've got 3 types of fish: salmon, smoked herring, cod, and our prawns. For our filling, we're also going to have baby spinach, some milk and some cream, salt and pepper, some dill, bay leaves, spring onion, an egg for glazing, and a few other condiments as well. So we're going to start with our potato, which naturally is going to be the topping for our fish pie. Now I've got approximately 700 grams of Maris Piper potatoes, which we have peeled, and I'm just going to cut these in half, and then we're going to boil those off. So we've got a pot of water which has been simmering away. We're just going to add some salt, and then we're going to put our potatoes in, and we're going to leave these to boil for about 15 to 20 minutes. So we've got a pan with about 400 milliliters of milk, and we're just going to poach off our fish. Now we're not going to put our smoked herring in because that's already been smoked, but the rest of our fish we're just going to lightly poach in. Now we're going to poach it for about 4 minutes, and after about 4 minutes we will then add the prawns. The prawns take slightly less time to cook. So we'll just let that simmer away. Now we're going to add some peppercorns and a couple of bay leaves, and then we're just going to let that poach away. So lastly, we're going to put in our prawns, and you just want to cook these gently for another minute. Now that our fish and our prawns are cooked, we shall just take it out and put it back onto our plate, ready for going into fish pie. Fish looks absolutely delicious, and I'm going to take the prawns out as well. So now we're going to make a roux, which is essentially melted butter with flour. We're going to use approximately 30 grams of butter and same amount of flour. Now what you want to do is you want to melt your butter first of all, then add your flour. Now the reason we're making a roux is so that we can use it as a thickening agent for our milk that we poach the fish in. It doesn't take long. You can see here that it's coming along, And you need to be careful not to burn this. And then once it's up to temperature, we're then going to start pouring in our milk from our poaching earlier. And the key to this is to add the milk in very, very slowly and to keep stirring until everything's worked in. Keep your heat very low. You don't want to burn this. And eventually, each time you start stirring it, it will thicken up. As it begins to thicken, you can take it off the heat a little bit if you need to. And then you can add a little bit more. Add a little bit more of the milk. So you can see now the consistency has changed completely, and we're just now going to add the last bit of our milk. A little bit of fish dropped in there, but don't worry about that. It will all be fine. So what we're going to do as well now is we are going to add 200 milliliters of double cream, roughly, and you can see that then gives it a very, very creamy texture. Now, a beautiful accompaniment to this is dill, and we've got some fresh dill which we are going to now put in here. We just make sure we've got our heat turned down. You just want to grab the individual pieces of dill, and you don't really want too much of a stalk, so you just want to use your fingers to just take the leaves off the stalk. And obviously you can have as much or as little as this as you prefer, but I love it's a very, very fragrant herb, and it goes beautifully with fish, absolutely beautifully with fish. So just take that there, and also in here we're gonna turn off the heat now. We're going to have some spring onions. I'm just going to put those in there. I'm just going to put them all in. So, there we go. And we're also going to have some baby spinach. So, just going to get some baby spinach, and we're just going to put it straight in here like this. This really is very, very simple. The baby spinach will wilt in the natural heat of the sloth, and we shall just leave this now. We will just leave this now whilst we go and tend to our fish. Potato has been cooked, boiled for approximately 15 to 20 minutes. Now we're just going to mash them up. So what I like to do is get a nice big dollop of butter into the potatoes. Lots of pepper to give taste, and same with the salt. And then we are just going to mash it up. Now, I also like to add a little bit of milk to my potato, and that just gives a little bit of moisture and creaminess. There we are. We've got our mashed potato. So now we're all set to go. We're going to put our fish pie together. So we're going to start with our fish. So in goes our smoked herring, salmon. You just want to make sure that all the fish is well spaced out and mixed in. Then of course we've got our white fish. And of course our lovely prawns. Doesn't that look delicious? Next we pour over our sauce, making sure we give that a good stir. That covers very nicely. And then finally, we want to scoop our potato. No, it doesn't need to be exact, but you want it to be as even as you can. So I'm just going to continue and do that. And then on top, we're going to have a little bit more pepper. We're going to have a bit more salt, just for flavouring. And then we are now just going to crack an egg. We're just going to use the yolk of the egg. So we shall just get rid of the rest and use the yolk of the egg just to give a little bit of glaze to the top. Again, this doesn't need to be exact, this is really just for decoration. And then this is now going into the oven for approximately 20 minutes at 200 degrees. So fish pie is ready, and now is the time to take it out the oven. So, wow, doesn't that look amazing? Absolutely amazing. You can see the potato on top, it looks creamy, but it's got a lovely, lovely crust on top. So let's put it on the table and set.
Wow, look at the creaminess of this.
Oh, wow. Really delicious. My goodness, wow. I recommend it.